I will become real in 3 seconds. Wah! This is an avatar I took way too long to finish with. You can see it. He looks funny. And it's pretty good. I have fun shaders I got for free from a convention. Oh, I obviously made that video. You saw that. And then fun hair with ears. Tail too. Whoa. 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 I'm gonna try explaining everything that's gone wrong making this. But before that, I should say, there are still things that are not going well with this avatar. I will show you years of progress. But even now, for some reason the mouth is weird. Do you see that? Sometimes it doesn't open. Also, for some reason when I have my add-on that lets me change my position, that just doesn't work now. I'll show you, actually. Watch this. I got these search in pants. It's a little menu that pops up and you can turn it on and off. Let me look through my computer for early examples of what I've done with this. Let's see what's in here. This is probably what I'm looking for. I have model save tasks, blend, and then model save later. Model save later. Wait, whoosh, and then just model gross. It got gross at some point. There's a lot of these. Let me look at Model 1 texture. Now, this was saved 2019. That's 4 years ago. No, this was made... Oh my gosh. Okay, there's a lot to show here. This was made... I don't know why it looks like this. This was made when Blender didn't even have this layout. It was like 2.79. Now, why does he look like this? I have no idea. But the thing is, this is when I just started and didn't really know how to model, and I was extruding vertices individually and filling them in with no actual reason. But the shading is not very good, as you can see. Let's look at it in another view. Let's look at the wireframe. Look at this geometry. Look at this. What is this face? It's not even symmetrical on this side. And everything's triangles, which is not good. Like, look at this. Have you ever seen geometry this bad before? That's how I did the hair. The thing is with this hair, I wanted it to be simulated in VRchat later on. So I made it like a cloth kind of thing. For some reason, I only have like a few bones. Maybe that's because I didn't know I needed more. Oh no, I remember. I was doing that. What was it called? Mixamo, I think. That just makes a rig for you. That's the way I was gonna do this. UVs looking great. I mean, it worked, but it's not supposed to be so random like this. Don't save it, please. Nope. Well, I wanted to do like an animation where he goes up to a claw machine and tries winning something and it doesn't work. I don't know, that was my idea because it happened to me, but it was so bad I couldn't animate with that, so I did something else. Okay, here it is. Here's Funny Boy New rig. Good. But maybe I want boy but rotated. I think I'm gonna try that. So the thing is with the last one, he was so polygons. I don't think I knew you could do a subdivision surface modifier, but I figured it out, and that's why this one's smooth. He's not too bad. His shape is a bit odd because it's subdivided like this. I just modeled the same way as I usually would, but with the modifier on. Doesn't have all the detail I would want. There were so many issues with this one. First, the thing I always had issues with. These hands, Unity would make the fingers go sideways. And then sometimes, like when I move the eyes, for example, there'd be a few random little faces that are moving like to the foot or something. Another issue, oh yeah, I just don't think this way of moving the eyes worked. Or I actually didn't even make the eyes work. There's a lot of stuff I just didn't try because I couldn't get to it because everything else didn't work. Mostly the hands. I tried like 10 times or something getting that right. I realized in the end, all you have to do Well, most of the time it fixes it. It's just press the button on Unity that says enforce T-pose. If you don't make avatars, you have no idea what I'm talking about. But that button makes everything go into the T-pose, and for some reason you need to press it more than once or else it just doesn't like it. And it acts like everything's wrong, but it's actually right. So let me show you the backside. Here he is. Whoa, what's up with that tail? Oh, ew. That's kind of, I don't know, that's gross. Why did I make it like that? I don't think I had a better way because of that subdivision modifier. Let me show you the wireframe. It's smooth for once. It's just not the most detailed or anything. It's whatever. It's alright. You could actually use this in an animation or something. The thing is, I realized this wasn't gonna work because it has too many polygons. This doesn't look like a lot for a game, but for VRchat, if you're on a quest, this is not gonna work. This is, when was this? Let me just keep track of time. This one was from 2020. Honestly, it doesn't sound that bad saying it now, but it was bad. And it was so bad because I would fix something and then something else would happen. It's just chance if I got something working or not. So there's like all of these different modeling phases, and then I tried making it for VRchat with the textures, but that didn't work. So I had another one. Oh, I had this in an animation actually. It's on the channel still. I completely redid the rig for it because of it just wasn't working. It wasn't identifying the bones right. And then I tried rotating it, I guess. I think it was because the hands weren't pointing right. But this one, I think it technically worked. And I did not make the eyes the right way. Also still has that terrifying tail. But this isn't the only guy I tried making. I also made a bat guy. He's in my comics, if you see that. I posted on Twitter and stuff. This one's different because I made this specifically for animation, but also tried VRchat. It looks so much better, and that is because if I turn on the wireframe, you have a lot of detail. Before it was so smooth, that is because there's a way you can do this where you sculpt it like with a brush, and then you do the basic sculpting over it, and that keeps the details. But let's try this, because I did upload this one and I still have it. This is called Early Version Bat Guy. He doesn't look that bad up close. No hair, because I didn't have time for that. This also had the issue where it does not work with the quest avatars because it's too high poly. Here's all around. Nothing's there. I don't really like how that looks. And I really do not like how the hands look. They only have 4 fingers. It was a success, technically. I just wanted something I could be confident using longer. That might mean I can talk about this now. Now, this one is called Starting Another One Working with Additions. There are like 13, 15 versions of this model with little changes everywhere. Here are the UVs. One little trick I learned with Bat Guy here. If I go really far away, oh, you can almost see it. Almost. There will be little lines that show up. That's because the texture is switching with a lower quality one. And the edges of the model where a different texture that is displayed on different parts, they just don't always show the right colors. So my trick was to fix that. I made everything extend out a little bit. Like with this gray, this is where, well, if I should explain this first. This is the geometry on here laid out on a flat image. Everything was colored outside of the lines. They tell you to color inside of the lines in school, but no. When you do 3D, you need to color outside of the lines. I also made the outside of this gray. It was the one that I felt was really working the best for a long time. Oh, but there's that terrible issue. Every time I went AFK, I would just disappear. So, like, if I press the button for my menu, I would teleport in some random location. Like, I literally don't know what it was. I went through 10 versions of this. It was terrible. I asked so many people, like other avatar creators, why I was disappearing all the time. So I tried redoing everything myself, the whole rig kind of thing, and it still happened. Because I'm doing this all myself, I could try doing it a way other people do. People have a rig and they go through an add-on that converts the rig into something that you can use for games. I think it renames things and sets it to different stuff. I don't know. But it had the bones laid out, which make this move. It did something to them, I don't know what, so that it worked. But that's what I'm saying. It's just chance if it's gonna let you do it or not. I wish I had more to say because it was actually like hundreds of hours or something of work with other improvements with this. One, you can notice it was not super smooth or anything. I did this the way of just placing every face individually, which I don't think I would do again. I think I do like having sculpting done in advance, but I will say the one part it did help on was the hands, because I made every finger exactly the same and pointing the same direction. And also, I needed bones for the tail and the ears so they'd move around. One little thing I want to flex is how the same texture is used for the body and the clothes. You don't see this pants texture anywhere. I made every one of these faces a different color. So this one, it's one of these right here, this one. I scaled it down a lot and made it just this color. The reason why I did that was so it looks super sharp and not like smooth. Like, look, compare this kind of color change to this. I should talk about how this will show up different on the Quest version. That's because it's super picky with how many models you put on. If you have more than 2 models, it can't work on the Quest. So I realize it's not too hard to upload 2 different versions, just one selecting everything and one only selecting the main character. Then he'll just look like this, obviously. And the last thing I should point out, look at how many little shake keys I have. People can end up with like 60 of these. I have the usual one for blinking, like that. I have a lot of different sounds. There's actually more I could have added. They ask for a lot on VRchat. I have a few expressions because I thought it required these ones. It didn't. These ones you can just use hand movements and move between. You can add more. Oh my gosh, this took so long. I just remembered. Because you need a whole controller to switch between these. Like sometimes they would just stay on your face and you need a setting to turn it off. And you also need to make an individual animation of every one of these things. Whatever. Here are the eyes. Look at this. They're bones. Can I select this? Look at this. It's just like a little piece of geometry on there. In the Unity thing, oh, I have bad weight painting. Look at that. In Unity, it'll just rotate this thing, and it'll move around the eye. But I should show you my newest thing. Oh, there's that thing. Hey, we're just gonna take some time to look at what I made for my last video. This is not related, I just wanted to pull this up. Sorry, I just wanted to talk about this. It was popular on Reddit. Blender released some free models you can use, like a male base model, like this. And it looks super good, and I like that because you can just mess it up with this face on it. So it was super easy just rigging that up with something called Rigify. It makes a super nice rig like this, where if you move anything, everything else moves in relation to that. Also, everything moves around the character for some reason. I just felt like that would be easier. I don't know, maybe it was. Look at that, he just bounces up. Whoop. And over here is the twerk off. So I did do a lot of stuff in DaVinci Resolve, like the little twerkometer up here. And then it will just twerk and then wait like this. Then he goes away. I don't know. But this was fun to animate. It took just a few days. It wasn't that long. Okay, back to what I was gonna say. So I have a new model. Here he is. You've seen him before if you ever watched this channel before. Yeah, I did some things with the rig. I didn't have that add-on that does it for you. So I figured out some ways to set it up so his body can stretch in and out a little bit. This was a test, mostly just see if I can make characters walk around, which does work. You can see it, he's walking around. Never done that before. But for this model, I don't know what to say. It's just a better version of the Bat one. Mostly just, it looks more accurate. And this was made for animation because he is smooth and not low poly. Let me pull up an example of an early version of this. Here is what it actually looks like before you do anything else. So if you look up close, there are the individual faces. This would never run on a normal computer. So this is the scoped mode. I'm still doing this in VR, just saying. You just drag stuff on here. This is what it actually looked like before I did more sculpting on it. I had a base like this, and then I made it into this. I don't know how to explain it. I just make a really basic model over it, and I have some modifiers. Whatever, don't worry about it. That's what I got from that. But all of that detail is kept on here. The thing is, compare the wireframe of this to the wireframe of this. Why did it go away? I have no idea what's up. Like, look at that. That's all I'm saying. I talked enough. But yeah, if you want to make avatars for a game, it's gonna take too long. Don't do it. No, you can't do it. But the reason why I've done it for this long is because I think it is fun. And if I didn't think it would be fun, then I wouldn't do it. So that should be your takeaway. Your life lesson. But yeah, I'll do other stuff now, I guess. I don't know. I don't need to be productive anymore. I made a video, recorded something for once.